Dear students, I am Dr. Basavaraj Jannaki, Associate Professor of History, Government Social College, Dahandeli, Uttar Kannada District. In this video program, I am explaining you about the Gandhara art patronized by Kushanas. This is for BA first semester of Karnataka University, Dharwad. So let us see about the Gandhara art of Kushanas. As a part of introduction, the architecture developed during the Kushana period is called as Gandhara school. They also promoted Mathura school also. These two names are originated after the name of the place. The Gandhara school of art flourished between 50 BC to 500 AD. It is also called as the Greco-Roman, Greco-Buddhist and Indo-Greek style. It clearly exhibits the influence of Roman, Greek or Hellenistic art. It mostly flourished in the areas of northeastern part of Afghanistan and present northwestern part of Pakistan. Then they were in ancient India. The prominent locations were Takshila, Peshawar, Begram and Bamiana. That region was called as Gandhar area. It was inspired by Buddhism, hence it was named as Greco-Buddhist art. Kushanas were great promoters of Buddhism. This style of art was closely associated with Mahayana Buddhism. Hence, the main theme of this art was Lord Buddha, Maitreya Buddha and Bodhisattva. One example of Gandhara style of art is the Bamiyan Buddha statue. The freestanding structures included many chaityas, viharas and stupas. The craftsmen of this school were mostly used white stone to prepare the images. The art pieces of Gandhara school are spread in different museums of the world. Most of them are at Peshawar and Lahore museums. The chief characteristics are of realistic representation of human figures, distinguished muscles of the body and transparent garments. Hence, the Gandhara school was considered the best school among the schools of Indian sculptures. Let us see the important characteristics of this Gandhara style or Gandhara art are life-size statues of Buddha. They found at Sanchi and Bharat. His existence was shown only by symbols such as the footprints, the Bodhi tree, a vacant seat, or the umbrella. A great care was taken to show the physical features of figures in as natural way as was possible. Much attention was paid in depicting every fold and turn of the dress, curly hair, etc. Rich ornaments, costumes, and drapery were used most enthusiastically in this school. A great attention was paid to smoothness and polish of the statues and sculptures. The Gandhara art was mostly used to make the statues of Buddha and images of Lord Buddha. They are carved in grey sandstone, lime, stucco, cement, terracotta and clay. Let us see the various mudras of the statues are. We can see Abhay Mudra, Dhyana Mudra, Dharma Chakra Mudra and Bhumisparsha. They indicate respectively Abhay Mudra indicates no fear, Dhyana Mudra indicates meditation, Dharma Chakra Mudra indicates preaching, and Bhumisparsha gives us meaning of touching the earth. So these are the four mudras that can be seen in the statues of Lord Buddha. This is the statue of Lord Buddha of 1st and 2nd century AD. Today it is in Tokyo Museum of Japan, which is considered as the National Museum of Japan at Tokyo. Here the hand is broken by the enemies. We can see the dresses which are looks as if they are folded naturally. So thus in a rock, this folding of the dress is shown very interestingly. We can see the full dress on the body of Lord Buddha, standing with a little smile. He is standing on a small platform which is also decorated. We can see the curly hair upon his head. So this is how Lord Buddha was shown in a sculptures in a form of Gandhara style. So this is a very interesting sculpture in which Siddhartha's birth was shown. A lady, which may be his mother, and four assistants are around that lady, and one face of the statue is destroyed. So this is how an interesting style of showing the birth of Buddha shown. It is of 2nd and 3rd century AD. In this way, this is the departure of Siddhartha from the palace. We can see a boy sitting on a horse, and few assistants are watching him. This shows how the various scenes of Lord Buddha are depicted in this sculpture. So it is very interesting, and how they were carved beautifully. Even though they are small, we can see the eyes, nose, hairstyle, and dress, various forms of dress, their different styles of standing, their posture of it means surprising how why this Gautam Buddha departing from the palace. All are shown in this figure. This is the preaching first Dharmachakra Pravartana, which he called, where Gautam Buddha, after attaining his enlightenment, first came out of the forest and sat in a deer park at Sarnath, in which he addressed his first 5 disciples. So this is known as Buddha's preaching at Sarnath. It is of 2nd and 3rd century AD. And this is the Buddha and Vajrapani under the guise of Heracles. This we can see the clear influence of Greek style in this art, white marble stone and Abhay Mudra, meditation style, and the Greek sculpture is also there. And this is the last one, which is called the death of Buddha, that is a Parinirvana style, where Gautam Buddha is shown sleeping or is no more. And even we can see that in his sleeping style also we can see the foldings on his dress, and his disciples were very in a shadow or in grip. They are expressing by their styles the depth of Lord Buddha. So this is how the Gandhara art was exclusively meant for Gautam Buddha. None of the figures or deities are used to exhibit the Gandhara style. So this is Mahayana Panth, Mahayana sect of Buddhism is exclusively used to depict or to exhibit the Gandhara style. So this is the famous style of art, and this Gandhara style opened a new era. We can see the influence of Greek or Roman style of architecture in this art. So how the art is spread to other parts of the world, the rest of the world, that can be understood by this type of art. And Kanishka was a great promoter of Buddhism. He conducted the 4th Buddhist Council at Kundalwana in Kashmir. Thank you.